My name is Conor Varela Handley. I'm an organizer with the LANDBACK campaign at Indian Collective. And today we're going to be bringing your attention to a call to action. Our purpose here at the LANDBACK campaign is to highlight and amplify different struggles for sovereignty, environmental justice, and land back happening across Indian country and with Indigenous peoples all over the world. So on that note, we'd like to show a short video from the movement to undam the Klamath River, and then we'll get right into it with our guest, Annelia Hillman.
Warren Buffett, you really do need to take down all of those dams as soon as possible. We need more water in our rivers because this one is dying right now. It's because you're slowly killing the rivers, all the life around it. You might not understand it, but the rest of us do. It needs to be taken down. Animals are dying. Us people, we need it too to stay healthy, and we need it to feed our elders, to feed everything, to keep life going on. You need to take down the dams.
So Annelia, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to everyone today. Could you introduce yourself and your work and what's going on? Tell us a little bit about today and the call to action.
All right, totally. Yukui, neck now, Annelia Hillman. I'm a Yurok tribal member. I live up here in Kaduk territory. And yeah, I mean, our day of action here is really to put some pressure on and to get our struggle out there in the world and people to understand it and how it ties into the other struggles that are going on right now. We've been fighting for dam removal for almost 20 years now, and we're really at a critical point. We've been through lots of different negotiations. We finally have an agreement that was settled upon, that Pacificor agreed to, and then FERC threw a wrench in the deal, and was wanted to hold Pacificor accountable to stay on that agreement and be liable for their piece. And so Pacificor is wanting to back out at this last minute, and really it's like the last hour. The sands of the time clock are running out, and we got till December and this deal will dissolve. And so that's why we're really making a push right now, and putting pressure on Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway and Pacificor to hold up their bargain. We've been through this, and we don't want to have to start over.
So could you give us a little bit of background on, for folks who may not know about the Klamath River, about the dams, Pacificor, and what the river means to you, how long these dams have gone up, and what those dams do to the river, why it's so important to bring them down?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the river is everything to our people. It's our way of life. It's that which connects us to our purpose. And, we've always relied on it for our fish and our sustenance and our ceremonies. And, back in 2002, our salmon population has been declining, on the decline since, the settlers came in and started, raping the river, and the commercial fisheries, the logging. There's been a lot of terrible things that's happened to our rivers, and then the dams came in, and so the quality, the water quality of our river has gone down. Those dams have caused a lot of harm to our river, and in 2002 there was a massive fish kill. We had just gotten done with our ceremonies, and we went out there, to the river, and we just started seeing dead salmon floating down the river, and within a couple of days, they were just piled up on the river. And for us, that those are our relatives, is like genocide in our face, and it hurt. And that's really when that movement began to undam the Klamath. because, like we realized those dams were causing a lot of the problems for our river, the toxic water, the warm water, the low flows, those are all things that the effects that the dam have on our river. And so that was really the turning point when the people said, okay, enough is enough. These dams have got to come down. And at the time, Scottish Power owned the dams, and we went back to Scotland and, asked, told them our story, told them the struggles of our Indigenous communities here, and they heard us, and they turned around and sold the company. And that's when Berkshire Hathaway took over the company, and Pacificor, and so they've been our target ever since. And yeah, it's just been nearly 20 years now, trying to find some happy ground or an agreement, a way to do it. And before all this, dam removal wasn't even in the scope. It wasn't a possibility. But once our tribal leaders, the Karuk, the Yurok, and even the Hupa, have been in these negotiations, and the Klamath tribes in the Upper Basin also, they've been in the struggle too. And so we've all, it's brought us closer together and really unified the people here on the river, to work together. And we've worked with the farmers in the upper basement, the commercial fishers, so we've really put ourselves on the line and build these relationships with people we wouldn't normally, that were always like the enemies to us, right? The farmers and the fishermen, the commercial fishermen. So, but we're all on the same page. Everyone needs water. This river is important. It provides life for all of us, So, so that's where we're at right now. And so, yeah, we in all these negotiations, we came up with the KBRA, that fell apart. That was the Klamath River Basin agreement. And, that was like a renewal policy. It was going to bring restoration, river restoration. And then that didn't work. And it was a lot of stalling too, right? This has taken a lot of time waiting. And there's been moments of, where we've escalated and de-escalated and, waiting for those, the political piece to line out. And so here we've been waiting for the last 5 or so years for the KHSA, and that's the Klamath hydroelectric agreements and or settlement agreements. So, and that's where we're at right now, and it's had to go through all those processes, the FERC and negotiations. And so we thought we were really close. We even have our own corporation, the KRRC, the Klamath River Renewal Corporation, that we designed to take the dams down ourselves. And we've got everything laid out, and really it's on Pacificor right now because they're backing out on us. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There's so much evidence, scientific evidence showing how damaging dams are to ecosystems, how it really doesn't make any sense anymore. So I know across the country right now, there's a big movement to tear down dams. They've done it in Washington with the Elwha River, to incredible results and amazing returns on the salmon there, and just benefit to the entire ecosystem. And I know that the tribes there in Washington had a big part in that tearing down. I remember a few years back, I believe it was Governor Jerry Brown, the governor of California at the time, declared that the dams on the Klamath River would come down. He made this big proclamation about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Why has that taken so much more time? Why have they stalled? What's in it for Pacificor to keep these dams up?
Well, honestly, like, these dams are monuments to colonialism. Sorry, I can't even say it. But they're that's what they hold on to. Like they're this symbol of control and control over our people. And I think that I really believe that's where it's at, because, you know, the way things are going and people, you know, being more I guess aware of, you know, environment and climate change and those kinds of things, you know, they could be the leaders right now in rebuilding and restoring rivers. You know, they could be the heroes, and but they don't want to. You know, they say that what's holding them back is the liability. They don't want to be liable if something were to go wrong with dam removal. But I think what they're not taking into consideration is what's going to go wrong without dam removal. Like, what about the extinction of salmon? You know, they're liable for that. Like, uh, you know, they need to get their priorities straight. Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention, you know, all these dams are older and all the sediment buildup and things like that. There's lots of disasters that can happen from a dam being created. Dams
Right.
you know, they're not, they'll never last forever. A river will always overpower them. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so they're putting themselves and other people in danger by continuing to have these dams.
Right now, yeah, we're on our salmon are on the brink of extinction. You know, especially like our spring runs, they're at all-time lows. And we're seeing that, you know, our way of life is compromised. You know, we're not being able to have that food and those food sources, and even just being able to be near the water, in the water, like it's toxic. And what's building up behind those dams is toxic algae. It's a neurotoxin, you know, and so it can kill dogs. It gives us rashes when we put our hands in it, and who knows what kind of, if it's a neurotoxin, what kind of effects it's having on our you know, our brains and our systems. And when we eat that fish, or, you know, and our ceremonial people, they rely on it too. They have to bathe in that river at their ceremony times. And you know, and that's affecting our people. And again, it's they're tools of genocide. They're tools that have been used, you know, to destroy our food resources, our ceremonies, our spiritual selves. You know, that, you know, when settlers came in here, they killed off, you know, a lot of our ceremonial, these are our spiritual leaders. And you know, I believe that's still the strategy here that they're going with. And I think what they don't understand is they, you know, we belong here, and, you know, we'll live and die here. We're part of this ecosystem, you know. Like you're saying, you know, they have this false idea that they can control the earth, you know. And I think that's what, as indigenous people, like, I think that we're um reclaiming that power that we have, uh you know, that spiritual force, that connection to the earth. And I think that we really have to believe in that again. Yeah.
That's a really powerful statement. And I think, I mean, if we look at the time that we're in right now, there's people all over the world rising up against these monuments to colonialism. And do you see that? Do you see this struggle being tied in with these other fights? I mean, not just in indigenous country, but in, you know, with the tearing down of Confederate monuments and all of these other systems that are changing right now. Um,
Oh,
do you,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so in terms of the colonialism, you know, yeah, taking down those monuments. I mean, this is a time of change, right? I think we're finally, everyone's at the breaking point. Like, we can't live like this anymore. And it's capitalism. That's what's destroying us, is capitalism. I'm trying not to cuss on here because it's a bad habit. But uh, you know, that's really what we're all fighting against. And yeah, the pipelines, you know, you'd see what Conor manual, and, you know, the I'm sorry, I don't want to the McMackey, is that how you say it? You know, their fisheries, you know, again, it's about protecting our livelihoods, our way of life, our indigenous ways. And it's something that we've always been fighting. From the buffalo, we like to say first it was the buffalo and now the salmon. It's they've destroyed everything that we have, everything that we depend on, and they keep trying to destroy it. And it really is environmental racism. It's attacking our cultures and our ways.
Yeah. Well, so how can people plug in to support this day of action and removal of the dams? What can we share to everyone to get out there and support all of you?
Well, right now, if you can follow Save California Salmon, they have a lot of links and petitions online that you can sign. Really, we're putting the pressure on Warren Buffett. It's these billionaires that say that they control everything right now with their money in this capitalist system. So those are the folks that are the real target, right? Is to people need to realize that they're still killing people. They're still exterminating our people. And so we really need to get that message clear that their actions are killing us. And so if you can today, go on the internets, the TikToks, the Twitter, and share what you can, and do your research too. And we have a lot of stuff. We have a YouTube channel. I think it's Undam Klamath. I don't have all the stuff off the top of my head, but like I said, if you follow Save California Salmon, they have all the links in there. You can click on them and see some of our videos from our past actions and those types of things. But really, today we're trying to be loud and get our voice out there and bring attention to this issue. And because, like I said before, the time is out. The river is sick. I went down there today, and it's just green and low and poor quality, and that really affects our mental health. So yeah, if you can spread the message today and share, and put the pressure on Warren Buffett and Pacificor, and Bill Gates. Bill Gates is another one of the main shareholders. And so, they always talk about their philanthropy and how they help people, but in reality, they're killing people at the same time. So we gotta help people realize, what's happening in this capitalist system, and and how to change that. So
I saw that there were different actions happening all over the country in conjunction with this, that there was something in San Diego and things in Nebraska right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what those folks are doing out there?
yeah, so we're hoping we'd all be able to go to Omaha, and make some noise there and see Warren Buffett himself. But we have a small party that went out there. Hopefully they're at Warren Buffett's house right now. We've been out there before to Omaha. So we have a small delegation there making some noise. We have people in San Diego, and the reason why we're targeting San Diego is because their city council is looking to go into business with Pacific Power, and to sign a contract with them to provide power for the city of San Diego. So we're hoping that we can squash that deal and send the message that, it's bad business. They destroy communities, and, we're hoping that can kick them in the pocketbook. And then we have folks in Seattle that are targeting Bill Gates Foundation, because, like I said, he's one of the main shareholders. I think second to Warren Buffett in the Berkshire Hathaway. And so, we really want to drag their names through the mud and make sure people understand that not everything that they're doing is good, and hold them accountable for that. And then we have people along the river here, just making some noise and sharing their stories, because it really is about telling our stories here.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. I feel honored to have got to talk with you today, and I'm always amazed by the work that you all are doing to protect your rivers and lands up there. And we will be sure to share all of the links and hashtags on the Indian Collective platforms and get the word out there as much as we can. Is there anything that you'd like to leave everyone with before we close out today?
Yeah, I mean, I just appreciate you bringing us here today, and just to let those other folks out there know that we're in solidarity. You know, like I said, this is all the same struggle, and wherever you're at in Canada, in you know, anywhere on the coast, like it's all indigenous, Amazon, all our people are fighting right now. And I think that we need to know that we're not alone, that we're all fighting against that same power, right? We gotta tap into our power, you know, and that spiritual power too. Like, we got to remember to believe in that, um that they can try to control the earth and all these things, but you know, we need to, if we strengthen our spiritual power, you know, we can make earthquakes happen, we can make the rain come, we can do that. We just have to believe in it again, and we can take down this system. It's the power of the earth that will endure, you know. It will it's going to do its thing, you know, and we're going to help it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So we can, yeah.
We'll be here long after they're gone.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
But
thank
we got
you.
to do what we can, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Annelia. That was really powerful, and we look forward to hearing what's next and seeing those dams fall down.
Yep. Great. Thanks for your support.
Thank you.
All right. Soon.